Hi there and welcome. In this video, we're diving into the science of sleep. What's really happening in your child's brain and body while they rest, and why sleep is so important for their development, mood, and behavior. Let's start with what sleep really is. Sleep isn't just rest, it is a biologically active process. While your child sleeps, their brain is busy consolidating memories, regulating emotions, and supporting growth. It touches nearly every system in their body. Sleep is made up of several stages, each serving a different purpose. But two stages in particular are especially important for your child's development. That is deep sleep and REM sleep. During deep sleep, the brain transfers short term memories into long term storage, an essential process for learning and cognitive growth. This stage also helps strengthen the immune system and regulate metabolic functions. It's also during deep sleep that the body releases growth hormone, which supports tissue repair, bone development, and physical growth. REM sleep, on the other hand, is critical for emotional regulation. This is when the brain processes emotional experiences and resets the stress response system, helping your child manage challenges more calmly and effectively. In every way, physically, mentally, and emotionally, sleep is one of the most powerful tools for healthy development. To understand your child's sleep patterns, it helps to know that two biological systems work together to regulate it. The first is the homeostatic sleep drive. You can think of this as the brain's sleep pressure gauge or sleep thermostat. The longer your child is awake, the more pressure builds to fall asleep. Just like a balloon filling with air, the pressure increases steadily throughout the day until it's released through sleep. The second is the circadian system. This is your child's internal body clock. It follows a roughly 24-hour cycle and helps the body know when it's time to be awake and when it's time to wind down. This clock is set by cues from the environment, especially light, and works like a daily rhythm keeper that aligns with day and night. When these two systems are in sync, sleep comes more easily and naturally. The homeostatic sleep drive builds gradually throughout the day. The longer your child is awake, the more pressure there is to sleep. For infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, age appropriate naps at the right time help relieve just enough of that pressure to prevent overtiredness. Without this relief, stress hormones like cortisol can rise, which often shows up as hyperactivity, fussiness, or resistance at bedtime. By the time children reach school age, however, naps are generally no longer needed, as long as they're getting the recommended 9 to 12 hours of sleep at night. That being said, if a child is particularly tired or has missed sleep, a short nap can still be helpful. In these cases, a brief nap, around 20 to 30 minutes, can boost mood, attention, and energy levels. Just keep in mind that timing matters. Avoid naps that are too long or too late in the day, as they can reduce nighttime sleep pressure and make it harder to fall asleep at bedtime. Now let's look at the second system that regulates sleep, the circadian rhythm. This is your child's internal 24-hour clock that helps signal when it's time to be awake and when it's time to sleep. Interestingly, the internal clock actually runs a bit longer than 24 hours, so it needs to be reset each day by external time cues. These time cues are also known as zeitgebers. The most powerful time giver is light, especially bright morning light. Light exposure in the morning helps to suppress melatonin, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy. Exposure to light in the morning also increases our alertness. So, getting your child outside or near a bright window within an hour of waking can go a long way in keeping their sleep wake cycle on track. We've just talked about how morning light helps reset the body clock and supports alertness. But light also plays another important role by directly influencing melatonin, the hormone that helps prepare the body for rest. Melatonin is produced by the brain in response to darkness. It helps regulate the circadian rhythm by signaling that it's time to wind down. When children are exposed to bright screens in the evening, especially blue light, it can suppress melatonin, making it harder for them to fall asleep. But melatonin is only one part of the equation. Research shows that what children are watching, when they are using screens, and for how long also plays a major role in their sleep quality. Fast paced or emotionally intense content can be just as disruptive as the light itself. So instead of focusing on blue light alone, it is helpful to look at the whole picture. Being mindful of screen timing, content, and consistency can all support healthier sleep in children. While light exposure and screen use are important factors, they're just part of the bigger picture. There are also other daily time givers that help regulate your child's circadian rhythm and keep their internal clock on track. Consistent wake times, regular meals, physical activity, and even social interactions all act as powerful signals that help the body know when it's time to be awake and when it's time to rest. When these routines are predictable and aligned with natural rhythms, they help anchor the sleep wake cycle, making it easier for your child to fall asleep at night and feel alert during the day. When sleep is supported, everything from mood to behavior improves. And one of the most effective ways to support better sleep is through routine. A predictable bedtime routine helps signal to the body and brain that it's time to wind down. Familiar, calming steps like brushing teeth, taking a bath, putting on PJs, and reading a book can ease the transition from wakefulness to rest. And just as important as the routine itself is consistency. Try to keep bedtime and wake time as regular as possible, even on the weekends. These daily rhythms help reinforce your child's internal clock and make falling asleep easier over time. As we've seen, so many seemingly small moments throughout the day, such as routines, light, movement, and connection, can all influence how well your child sleeps. Let's take a moment to step back and reflect on what we've covered. Remember, sleep is a biologically active process that supports your child's growth, learning, and emotional well being. It is regulated by two key systems, the homeostatic drive and the circadian rhythm. Together, they help the body know when it's time to rest and when it's time to wake. By supporting these systems with consistent routines, morning light exposure, and mindful daily habits, you are helping your child build healthier sleep patterns. And even the smallest changes can make noticeable differences. Understanding sleep's role in childhood gives you the clarity and confidence to support it more intentionally. It's not about getting everything perfect. It's about meeting your child's needs with patience, consistency, and care. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Remember, supporting your child's sleep doesn't mean doing everything perfectly. It means making informed, thoughtful choices rooted in understanding and shaped by your family's unique needs. If you'd like to explore more, the Pediatric Sleep Council, BASIS, and the AASM Sleep Education site offers valuable evidence-based guidance you can trust.